Hey folks, Liv right here. Once again, hope you enjoyed my review of Injustice. Honestly, a disappointing movie, but again, if you want my thoughts on that movie, Injustice, hope much of one based on the Egyptian Gods Among Us, a game from PS4 based on that. That review is on there right now. Happy Sunday, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Remember, it's the with my YouTube channel, it's the mass profile picture. Okay? Yes. Levi McNally 983 is my new channel. If you wanna, you watch videos on my other channel with a Batman Mask of the Phantasm profile picture on, but do not subscribe. Unsub to that and subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys for 203 subs. Just keep on subscribing. I got a lot more reviews, more videos coming up on this channel. Believe me, guys. And I'm already trying to plan future videos ahead. Well, I haven't really planned it, but I will plan it. But I'm not going to tell you guys that. Keep that to myself for now. But and guys, remember when you subscribe to my channel, when you push the subscribe button, click the little bell. It'll notify you. Like I think it also notify you when I do community posts for what the next review is, the next video on the channel. And just in case you guys miss a video, you'll see it there. Or, it'll notify you when I upload my video as well. So it'll let you know. And please feel free to share my channel, let your friends know. You can share my videos, my channel on your Facebook page, Facebook story, if you want to, if you choose to, that's fine. Your Instagram, whatever, share the heck out of it. I really appreciate the support. Thank you guys. All right, guys. What I've been doing though on my channel here, hope you guys can hear me. Hope the quality is good. Hope you guys can hear me. If you need to turn the volume up in the video, I would definitely recommend doing that. If you cannot hear me, just turn the volume up. And hope you can see me. The quality's working. And I do know that sorry, working. So anyway, guys, yeah, this is a superhero marathon. I've been doing a superhero marathon on my YouTube channel. I've been doing what I call the 2020s era of superhero reviews. These films came out in this decade, 2020 to 2025, and I'm on the year 2021. And I've only got two more movies. These are two films that are part of the MCU. Now, this is my first time watching this movie. Now, y'all know I ranked on Shang-Chi, Legends of the Ten Rings, which I hated. I thought that sucked, and I also think Black Widow sucks. This was probably, yes, this is the 26th film of the MCU, and I hated this movie. So this is going to be a rant because I hated this film. That is Eternals. This is just trying to be another Avengers movie. Yes, they do quote Avengers a lot in this movie. This film was trying to be another Avengers movie. I didn't get this movie. What are these characters? Yeah, I just didn't understand it. I didn't get it. You know, and don't tell me I need to read comics to understand it. I don't want to read comics about these characters. I'm sure the comics will be better though. Because I think it was Jack Kirby that created these characters. Anyway, yeah, like I said, this is the 26th film of the MCU. It does have an ensemble cast in it. You know what? The ensemble cast that I like is the Avengers from 2012. Age of Ultron is much better. Hell, Avengers Infinity War Endgame, all those Avengers movies are better than this. Fantastic Four, Rise of Silver Surfer. Those are much better movies. Those are masterpieces compared to this. Zoom with Tim Allen is better than this. Fantastic from 2015 is better than this. Honestly, this movie makes me love that movie even a lot more. Yes, I'd rather watch that film a million times over. Despite the problems, yeah. But anyway, let's get into the production of the film. Now again, let me see. Okay, now the Eternals. It was comics. They were created by Jack Kirby, making the first. I'm sure he did good with it. Yeah. The Eternals are on off humanity known as Homo. They're basically like immortals. They were created 1 million years ago by the alien Callistus to defend Earth with their superhuman powers. The primary adversaries are the deviants, who share a similar origin and pose a regular threat to humanity. Due to their virtual immortality, Eternals have largely scheduled themselves from humans, with their godlike statues forming the basis of figures around the world. So, kind of reminds me of Highlander a little bit. But I'm sure the comic book probably came out 1976. Highlander didn't come out until 1986, and this reminds me of Highlander. I'd rather watch Highlander with Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery, and Highlander 2. You know, Those are better movies than yeah, they're a bit long. They're long too, but they're better movies. You know, if I want to watch something about characters being immortal, I'll just watch the Highlander 1 and 2. I got those. I'd rather just watch those. They longer life. They're not originally fully immortal. They kept from contact from the human cousins. Turtles have a low birth rate. Yeah. Sounds all interesting and fascinating to read, but I ain't got time to read all of it. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. And again, just like Black Widow, this was too late to come into the MCU. They should have done this movie a lot earlier. They could have done so much with these characters. Yeah. And they first were they're from Olympia, located in the mountains of Greece. It says that they've encountered Thor in the comics. Thanos in the comics nearly destroyed their colony, but they rebuilt it and would help Earth's heroes to oppose him on several occasions. So they do help the Avengers. Sorry for yelling. So they do help the Avengers. Why couldn't these characters be introduced earlier into the MCU where they could fight with the Avengers? You know. But Marvel was busy. So anyway, production of this movie how this movie came to be. It's in April 2015. Marvel Television was working with screenwriter John Ridley to create a new television series for ABC, reinventing existing Marvel Comics character or property. This was years later to be the Eternals, a race of long-lived superheroes created by Jack Kirby. Ridley said he was trying, and Jack Kirby also created Marvel, along with him and Stan Lee. But Jack Kirby's credited for doing this. And I say this movie is a real big insult to his memory. It's like this movie just spitting on his grave. Yeah, yeah. Ridley said he was trying to make a superhero series that viewers had not been seen before, differentiating from Marvel's other projects, and said his approach would have been a really weird story that may not have been entertaining for everyone. It normally did not move forward with Ridley. And Marvel Television was forwarded to Marvel Studios in December 2019. So Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, who's been working with these movies since the first Iron Man film, said in April 2018 that the studio was actively developing a film based on the Eternals to be part of the MCU Phase 4 slate of films. Marvel Studios has met with multiple screenwriters and was believed to be focusing on the character Cersei in the film. Marvel set Ryan and Kate Furbis to write the script along later, with their outline including a love story between the characters Cersei and Akrus. I'm sorry if I can't say the name right. The script was set by the 1990 limited comic book series Earth X, Jim Kruger, and John Paul Lewin, which is about a version of the Marvel Universe, a major inspiration for them. Yeah, and Chloe Zhao, she's the one that directed this film. She did a terrible job, honestly. Yeah. And June Feige, instead Marvel was interested in exploring the ancient aliens kind of scoop drive. Having the Eternals led to be the inspiration for Mist, legends of the history of the MCU. During late August, Marvel's director searched for Eternals near to a short list that included Chloe Zhao, who had been in the running to write Marvel's Black Widow. That movie still sucks, but if she still directed it, it still would have sucked. Mm, it would have even gotten worse. Nicole Castle, Travis Knight, and the pair of Christina Gurlo and Creel Guril. Zero approached Marvel Studios about making the film, as she had been a fan of the MCU. She had wanted to work with the studio to bring her own take and world building to the franchise, and impress them with a presentation that Feige described as fascinating with the realms of visuals. Zara worked with producer Nate Moore to develop her pitch. The presentation left Marvel asserted that she might take on a different big studio project instead of Eternals, forcing them to move quickly to secure her. Zhao was hired as director in September. She, sorry, Zhao described the film as Zhao hoped to push the scoop of the film further than Marvel's Avengers Endgame. So yeah, they're really trying to be the Avengers. But I also wanted to have an enemy. It's enmity. I can't read that right. Sorry. Zhao described the film as a melting pot of influence, taking from Kirby's original Eternal Comics comic book run and MCU projects, Zhao's love of science fiction and fantasy films, and Megana. Speaking specifically to her love of McDonald, she hoped those books would create a marriage of East and West. She said, like the television Ancient Aliens, the Final Fantasy, Marvel saw Eternals as an opportunity to create a summer film that is not crossover similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, which Guardians of the Galaxy that's no summer film too. Despite, Guardians 3 being my least favorite, I still rather watch it than this. Yeah. And introduce them unknown characters to audience that they did with the Guardian and the Avengers. The studio also considered Eternals to be a perfect transition to next phase of films on parts such as Captain Marvel, which is better than this. Even the Marvels are better than this, in my opinion. Allowing them to cast a diverse group of actors to portray the various Eternals. Moore's intentional planning documents for the project included the swapping of gender, sexualities, some characters now activated for this approach. February 2019, Feige regretted that the Marvel was interested in the Eternals due to Kirby's epic history spanning story, with the film version covering 77,000 years and exploring humanity's place in the cosmos. Zales said the Eternals have lived among us for so long. They have the same struggles like identity. Purpose, faith, personal freedom versus greater good. The duality and flaws that make us human, with a story that spans so many years. The character relationship evolved like complex family and unit like friends turn to frenemies. Then turn to enemies, then come back to friendship. Zhao considered the Earth to be an 11th character in the film. Pre-production. Throughout early 2019, Zhao began working on a draft of the script, built around the multiple drafts by the therapists. Approximately 4 months ahead of filming, the script was not finalized. Moore introduced Zhao to Patrick Ballou, who had not been more and Moore's writing program, hopes that he could assist with the writing. Zhao hired him to work on the screenplay, which he did for about 3 months and ahead of filming. He believes Zhao that needs to write on the film as well to direct. And it's likened the story to be like a road trip film. Angelina Jolie joined the cast in March 2019 as series, with Kamal Namat and Donnelly casting inclusive roles in the next month. I'm sorry, I can't say the name right. Richard made enter negotiations for the role. Samuel Halleck entered negotiations for a role in the film as well. Billy Bob Brown denied that she had been cast. They had Jolie and a guy named Maiden. Yeah. At the 2019 San Diego Comic Con, Feige officially announced Eternals with a release date of November 6, 2020. He announced that the cast of Jolie as Athena, Naji as Kingo, and he announced the cast. She looked for actors for each role that could find a bit of themselves in the character. Hated that one of these characters was portraying an LGBT character. Yay! Yes, we do have that in here. Yeah, you got men kissing. Yeah, you got two guys sharing a kiss in here. You got two dads. I'm like, dads. Yes, right. Now you got to throw an agenda in my face too. Yeah. With Edward Hayes is somehow later revealing that he's as gay in the film because he portrays the character. Samiro. He portrays the character's husband, and the pair have a child in the film. Felt it was important how loving and beautiful a queer family can be. I don't want to hear, but I'm not talking about that. I don't support that. Sorry. Keep that in real life, but keep it out of my movies and entertainment, okay? I don't need your gay agendas in my face. You know. Eternals set around 8 months at the events of Avengers Endgame, and they addressed why the Eternals did not interfere in the previous conflicts in the MCU. Both Feige said the film would have major ripple effects on the future of the MCU in time. It was a challenge to balance the grounded nature of the MCU of the Eternals property filming. By the time of the film's official announcement in July 2019, picture photography had begun, I guess around July 2019, in Pinewood Studios in Buckinghamshire, England. Ben Davis served as the director of photography after doing so on several previous MCU films. South said Marvel Studios allowed her creative freedom to shoot the film on location exactly the way she wanted to shoot it. She was able to use a similar style to previous films, including 360 shots, or the same camera and rays were used in her for her film Nomadland. Was set to complete back to back with this movie. Sarah felt that she got lucky when the Marvel wants to take risks and do something different. Sarah said The Revenant is a primary influence. I think that's with Leonardo DiCaprio. I gotta see that movie. That's a long movie too, but I bet it's interesting than this. Since Mary never dies in that film, Shannon felt that it was she returned for the MC, but after working on the film, she was told by Feige that the studio wanted to make better use of her in a future project. Yeah. I'm just reading. By early November, the film had taken place in the Caribbean Islands. Caribbean Islands. Scan Effects, one of the companies working on the film's visual effects, confirmed that they would be working remote due to the COVID-19 pandemic. You had Industrial Light Magic who did some effects of the movie. Yeah. And early Disney shifted much of the Phase 4 study films due to the pandemic, COVID-19, when that happened. For the Eternals, they wanted to release in February. I guess that didn't happen. And reshoots were taken in mid-November 2020. But then the film did get pushed to November 2021. The music score is by Ramna Dishna. I can't say, yeah. Who previously doing more for score for Iron Man. Two songs from the film soundtrack, Across the Ocean's Time, Eternals theme, was released on singles October 22nd, 2021, while the full album was released on November 3rd, probably before the movie's released. Marketing, these are their costumes from the movie. And I admit, I kind of do like the costumes, I'm not gonna lie. The marketing, well, they celebrate the film's return to theaters in the light of the COVID-19 pandemic, because I guess they had to put this movie on because of COVID-19. Because you remember, guys, in 2020, COVID happened. 2021, they were getting everybody to take the vaccine. The vaccinations were happening, but some movies theaters were still shut down around the time because of this. But they opened back up eventually, and then I guess you say later, toward the end of the year, in November, they released this movie. I remember the teaser trailer, the trailers for the film, and I just didn't have no interest. I also think McDonald's, yeah, McDonald's also helped market the movie. They yeah, even though what's that? Amelia Hayek, she looks like her character from the movie a little bit. Some of them do, well, like the characters, but Angelina's character, her hair's like blonde, but her character's like, well, for McDonald's, some of them don't look like it, but yeah, McDonald's had toys out for the movie just to market the film. This does look like some highlight. This character right here, yeah, McDonald's did this. Probably announced that this is going to be like the next MCU movie. And so they really marketed this movie for like crazy. Yeah, yeah. All right, for the cast of the movie, you have, yeah, this is the cast of the film. You have Jimmy Chan as Syria, and then the Eternal, with a strong connection to humanity with the Earth. Can never let him transform matter through physical contact. I did not care for this actress's acting. Let's see if I've seen anything else. I don't think I have. She was in Crazy Rich Asians. She did a voice work for Ray and the Last Dragon. Came out the same year. That was a Disney animated film. She was in Captain Marvel. So she was good in that. Oh yeah, I think I liked her in Captain Marvel, but not in here. As one of the leading actors. No, she just didn't work for me. Beautiful woman though. I'll say that. Richard Main as Airless, a powerful Eternal who could fly and project cosmic energy beams from his eyes. He's kind of like Superman. Did not care for him at all. Yeah, he was in the Cinderella remake, playing playing the playing Prince Charming, Prince Kit, whatever. Don't really care to see that movie. Rocket Man, 1970. Didn't really care for this actor. Kamala Nosh as King of an Eternal who can create cosmic energy prodigies. He's like the dancer kind of guy or whatever. He went on the Eternals like to be like a dancer, an actor, director. He was in Hot Tub Time Machine, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Sex Tape. Yes, that is a movie with Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel. Men in Black International, Doolittle 2020, The Lovebirds. This movie, Ghostbusters, Frozen. Says he was an Obi-Wan. Yeah, miniseries. I think I remember seeing that. He's very good. He's good in that. Leah McCon as Sprite. Sorry, Sprite Zero. I swear with her character, she looked like the Tom Voyer, Tom Voyer, Tom Sawyer, the male version of Tom Sawyer. Did not like her character. I didn't see any after her. I don't think her acting was good. She Project Life like illusions. She's in the childlike state, appearing as a young girl despite being thousands of years old. Brian T. Henry as Phaedos, an eternal who intelligent weapons technology inventor. Let's see. He was in Bullet Train. I remember. Oh, he was in Joker 2019. Oh yeah, Carl. I remember the order that when Arthur was trying to get information on his mother and he pulls it from him. That yeah, if you remember that scene where he finds out Arthur Curry, thanks. Arthur Fleck finds out the truth about his mom abusing him and stuff. That was his actor, yeah. He voiced Jefferson Davis in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. He was in Godzilla vs. Kong. He was also in the Child's Play remake. He was fine in that. I thought he was good. He didn't annoy me. I thought he was pretty good in that. And I did like him for his small part and Joker. And as Miles, I mean Jeff Morales voicing Miles' father, he did a good job at that. Yeah. But in here, and they made him gay. Yeah, he's the gay character. I'm like, Lauren Ridolph as Mickery, Eternal who can move at superhuman speed. Honestly, I thought she's pretty cute. You know, yeah. She was like in The Walking Dead. So if you've seen The Walking Dead, you probably know who Lauren Ridloff is. I can't say the name right. Sorry. Yeah. Barry Crunk as Drug, and Nella Fraternal who becomes frustrated with the other mortals and even like he can manipulate the minds of others. Oh, he was the cameo in the Joker as Batman. Yeah, I don't really care to see him as Joker, but maybe he would do good in that. The makeup was pretty good, but I think they deleted that scene out of the movie. Probably. Well, no, they didn't. I don't think they did. Yeah. But Don Lee as Proliga, the strongest eternal with a deep connection to Athena. Whatever his name is, I can't say it right. Don Lee. Ugh, see if I see him in anything. Just looking. Just looking. Nope. No. Apparently he's an arm wrestler too. Kid Harton as Danny Whiteman, a human who works at the National Mystery Museum, is a professor and is dating Syria. He's alright. He was in How to Train Your Dragon 2. Did a voice work for that. Testament of Your Youth. I don't think I've seen him in anything. Oh. Samila Hymek as AJ. Now, Samila Hymek, she's a beautiful woman, don't get me wrong, but her acting is not good. But she's the wise and leader, believe the Eternals has the ability to heal the bridge between the Eternals and the Citadelites. Whatever the heck that is. They're an ancient race of entities introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy and later experience expand on Guardians too. Matter and energy manipulating abilities. But Selena Hayek, I remember her basically from like Wild Wild West as Rita, you know. From Dusk Till Dawn, yeah, she's the dancer in that. Her dialogue is not very good. Dogma, Wild Wild West with Will Smith and Kevin Kline. Desperado, I think with Antonio Banderas. And Grown Ups 1 and 2 with Adam Sandler. And Angelina Jolie as Athena, elite warrior returner who can form any weapon out of cosmic energy. Develops a close bond with the Galusma over the years. Angelina Jolie, I liked her in Tomb Raider. She did a voice. She voiced Tigress in the Kung Fu Panda series. She's good in that. She's also directed some movies like I Love and Broken. That was real good. I liked her in yeah. I need to check a movie she did called Hackers. I'm sure Hackers is better than this movie. She was in Cyborg 2, Hackers. I've always wanted to see that movie. 105 minutes long. Okay, that's not too bad. I can take 105 minutes over than 156 minutes over 2 hours 3. And the Laura Craft being playing, being in those Tomb Raider movies. I've seen the first one. Seen a little bit of the sequel. I'd rather watch that. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I liked her in it, but I was not big on that movie. Wanted, I liked her. but she should have been leading out James McCoy. James McCoy was the wimp she has to deal with in the movie. So the tourist with Johnny Depp, yeah. So she kind of stopped doing movies after a while, started directing films. Bill Skarsgård provides the voice of Creo Sigurd. Oh yeah, I don't like Bill Sigurd. Probably known for playing It, which I'm sure he sucks in, and of course The Crow. Yes, the remake. Oh yeah, that'll be a rant too coming up one day. Criticism went to the screenplay and pacing, feeling it didn't live up to the previous work or films. Yeah, I don't think critics really cared for the movie. It's the lowest rated MCU film on both websites. In the first number, classified as a rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Good. The fight scenes were astonishing. I've seen astonishing fights in the Avengers movies and in the other MCU movies that are better. It did. The mixed reception did surprise some commentators. Given the MCU's positive record, well, sometimes positive can be negative. It just takes one movie to screw things up. I'm sorry. Any franchise you have, there can be a movie that's just awful. You compare the divided response to that as that sort extended universe, like, well, even though I love Man of Steel, that did get some people didn't like it. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, yeah, it's like that. It's a messy movie. Zayo addressed some of the criticism of the film. At least some of the debation came from everyone having an external crisis. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the film being a external crisis both for humanity and God. She also felt the reaction to how her filmmaking simply remarkable were a testament to how much we emerge with each other. And how comfortable that might make people feel. No, Zels, you sucked at directing. You did a shitty job. You made an awful movie. Jimmy Chan, she won an award for Best Actor in Lead, which I don't think she deserved it. This movie, I don't know why it won an Academy Award. I don't understand that. Fuck the Academy Awards. I hate the Oscars. I hate the Oscars. I hate the Razzies. I hate all those awards and crap. Stop that. Why can't we just stop that so the actors can gloat? Hopefully the movie will not get a. I hope not. Chan says she wants Spiral. Please don't. The sequel in 2023 was not in development. People said there were no plans for a sequel at the time. Probably because they're not going to do one at all. Because a lot of people didn't like this movie. And the film was directed by Chloe Zhao. Let's see. I've never seen any movie she's directed. Hammett, which came was is going to come out this year. Historical drama. Yeah. Screenplay. You have what one? Four people that write this movie and they screwed it up, including Chloe Zhao who wrote this movie. Patrick Ballard. Let's see. All right. Well, let's see. The guy has wrote some of the films in. He wrote Ant-Man and the Wasp, Peter Rabbit 2. This movie. Yeah, he wrote Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I do like. That's a fun sequel. Yeah. So he did help write the script for that movie, I guess. I don't know. Or doing a rewrite or whatever. But I like Ant-Man and the Wasp. Cast Corporal. Not too many movies. It's like, well, you're stupid. You're hiring people with barely any experience of writing a film. And also written by, I guess, him and his brother Brian Case, who read the story. You got the wrong people to write the damn movie. Produced by Kevin Feige and Nate Moore. He's also, let's see. What? No. God. Oh, trying to look up for somebody here. Okay. Oh, he's vice president. Okay. Cinematography is by Ben Davis. I'm into cinematography. He's done it for like movies like Kick-Ass, Hannibal Rising, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, Avengers: The World War, Doctor Strange, the first movie, and Captain Marvel in this movie, which I think are better than the MCU movies in this. Did you? Yeah, Craven the Hunter. Apparently, he did the cinematography for that, and he's good at doing cinematography. I like his cinematography for Guardians of the Galaxy, Adventures of Ultron, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel. Those have good cinematography. Even this movie does. I'll give it that. I can give credit where credit is due sometimes. Um, but two editors are edited by Greg Wood. He was edited films like The Crow, 1994. Well, additional editor on that movie. Mouse Hunt, superhero movie, comedy. Pirates of the Caribbean films. Never Back Down, the first one. The Road, The Lone Ranger. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Lone Ranger, which sucks as well. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Tomorrowland, Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Craven the Hunter. Dylan Tanash. Boogie Nights, Shortcuts. I think Burt Reynolds was in that. Yeah. Brokeback Mountain, Whip It. Music is by Ron John. I can't say the name right. He's done music score for like video games and stuff. Yeah, and he scored films such as Clash of the Titans. Let's see, the remake. Yeah. Pacific Rim, Warcraft, Iron Man, the first Iron Man film. Which I'll admit, he did a great job with that. I did love the score to Iron Man. Yeah. Yeah. And in Eternals, every time. But Pacific Rim, Warcraft, Clash of the Titans remake. From what I heard, those movies were not very good. I think Ring of Time, I heard that flopped. Clash of Times remake sucks, even though that got a sequel. Productions of Marvel Studios. Distributed by Walt Disney Studio Motion Pictures. It was released November 5th, 2021. It's 156 minutes long. Basically 2 hours and 36 minutes, but including two post-credit scenes, which you do get, because this is an MC movie, so you do get post-credit scenes. Two post-credit scenes in this movie. Sorry to waste my voice there, folks. Two post-credit scenes, which makes the film, when I watched on Disney Plus, about 2 hours and 39 minutes. And you will feel those 2 hours. Believe me. You're in for a slow paced ride. The budget was $236.2 million. Box office made $402.1 million. So it did make money. Yeah, yeah. But but if I could talk, I'm trying to read a little bit. Although the film, I would say, did bring back money on its budget, I guess it didn't make enough money for Marvel. It did surpass the budget. I would call it a moderate success, but I wouldn't say it was a huge like. If they were going for like Avengers Endgame to make it like $2 million, no, you fell completely. This film is trying to be like an Avengers movie. You can just tell they're trying to be Avengers with this film, and it failed completely. You should have done something different. Number one, a better cast. I like Angelique Jolie. Keep her, but give her the rest of the cast. You know, yeah. But anyway, so if you've never seen the Eternals, before you turn this video off, I'll talk to you about the plot synopsis. So what the story is about is that the Eternals, like I said, they're a race of immortal beings. I'm talking about the plot synopsis. They have superhuman powers. They've lived for over millions of years. They come to Earth from their ship to protect us with their superhuman powers, and they fight against. They seem to live on Earth for thousands of years. And they have to unite to battle these evil deviants, these creatures that want to kill people. A lot of people murder people, and they fight against them. But the Eternals eventually, their little band breaks up. So it takes place about 7,000 years later, where a new threat has come with these deviants, and they have to find out what these deviants are up to. They have to, along with Jimmy Chan's character, Zarisi, they have to find Ajax. They have to find all the arrested Eternals, their team, and bring them back together, and they have to defeat them and bring them down. But there will be spoilers ahead, as some of them, there's also a traitor in their midst. And yeah, but this film takes time with that, and they go down. This maybe remind me of Country Bears a little bit. You know that Country Bears movie with The Bear with Christopher Walken, yeah, that kind of reminds me of this movie. So it's like a road trip movie. But they have to defeat the defendants. They have to save the world and save the day and save people again. Yeah, yeah. And basically the deviants are their ancient counterparts. They're a race of organic beings. They're sent to the earth to the development of potential life, intelligent life. They're apex predators. Yeah, and the Eternals they protect us from them, protect the human race from them. I mean, yeah, and that is the cast, the Eternals. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about yeah. So I'm gonna talk about the movie itself. And again, if you've never seen the Eternals, turn this review off right now. God bless you, by the way, if you haven't. Wouldn't say waste your time on it. And yeah, if it does sound confusing to you, it does sound confusing to me as well. But the film, I'll talk about the movie. So again, if you've never seen the Eternals, turn the review off right now. This is a spoiler review. Or you can say spoiler free, whatever, but there's going to be spoilers in this review. I'm going to put in the description box below too for this video. So let's go ahead and get started. So the movie opens up like with the title, say like in the beginning, from the dawn of time we came. I'm sorry. I just had to remind me of Highlander there a bit. But it happens in the beginning. Talks about the Eternals. They're built and programmed by the Prime. This Ermish, the judge, a world forge. They were sent to numerous planets with similar these seeds in order to protect and help send eventually like the emerge would occur, destroying the seeded worlds. So what they basically they go to the worlds and they fight not just Earth, but they fight. It opens up in 5000 BC with the Eternals like Ajax, Ceres, Icarus, Kingo, Sprite, Phaedos, Mercury, Drug, Gillis, and Athena. They're sent to Earth by Asherin. These on their starship Domino. Yeah. So they're like in the year 1521. You have this kid on a beach, and one of the devious monsters attack the Eternals. Like attack him. The action is pretty decent there. They have different opinions. Yeah. But this movie kind of goes back and forth with the history a little bit. But then you have in the present, you have Sirius and Sprite living together, and they live in London. Siri and Icarus, the guy who's like Superman, they had a relationship. They got married, but they should say divorced, broke up. And like I said, like 500 years later, so 7,000 some years later, she's like a teacher. These kids get scared, and I forget the guy that's dating her, but he says he wants to be with her. And then all of a sudden, these deviants attack, and they jump out there. They fight the deviants. Icarus shows up to help them out, and tell them that we got to talk. Hmm. So basically, they said that these deviants are attacking something, an attack could be coming. We got to get the group back together again. So they traveled into South Dakota. You do have a history there of them like NBC. Yes, the movie shows you these times. Like I said, it's like kind of like Batman Begins a little bit. For Man of Steel, it kind of goes back and forth and back and forth. And honestly, this is what bores me because it really makes the film slow pace. Yeah, we find that Angelina Jolie's character, I can remember her name, trying to Thena. She's pretty cool with the sword and stuff. If this was just about one Eternal, Kind of like if they would have gone like with the Highlander version and was just Angelina Jolie and starring in this movie, if it was just her, like the Eternal starring Angelina Jolie, that could have worked. But I thought it was badass. And the movie does try to have humor. Sometimes the humor kind of works and doesn't, but it's trying to be more serious. And one of the characters, like Droid, he likes to control people's mind. The other girl that's deaf, she sees these guys stealing, she can read their lips. You know, it's like we don't control their minds. And they can't. The reason they couldn't team up with the Avengers, is because they can't get involved with human affairs, with their wars, because they're immortals. They're like godly, basically, so they can't get involved with it at all. And they try to go find Ajax. Spoiler alert: she's dead. Uh, Samia Hamek, she also starts as one character that's kind of like Galactus almost, but in space. Is she leading them? But I didn't care for Salma Hayek's performance being the leader of this group. I didn't buy her. Yeah, she was totally miscast here. And so Sirius becomes like her successor, granting her the ability to communicate with Arisem, the character that created the Eternals, gave them their everlasting eternal life, whatever. She learns that their mission was to actually prepare Earth for the entrance of a new Sentinel. And then he explains for millions of years he's been planting zero seeds inside planets where the emergency energy from large populations. I have to read all this. I'm sorry, folks, but I get confused. This movie confuses me. Allows and plus I was falling asleep through it, so that's how bored I was. Allows the new century to be born. The deviants were sent to destroy the apex predator of each planet, to show the development of intelligent life. But when they evolved, they began hunting the planet's native populations. He also created the Eternals to counter them. With these at the end of the blip, talking about Thanos, you know, restoring Earth's population, humankind has reached the necessary size to allow. They said this takes place like 8 months later after Avengers Endgame to be born, with the result in Earth's destruction. But the Eternals do reunite. They do meet the one character that he's like a singer dancer. I didn't really care for that. That was just stupid, the dancing. He's got a cameraman that he brings with him, and he's doing a documentary, like filming Sprite. I did not care for the Sprite character. But you find out that she herself is in love with Icarus. The guy describes it like Peter Pan, that he's Peter Pan and he's Tinkerbell, but in love with him. Tinkerbell has more personality and actually looks like a beautiful girl. It looks like a girl. Looks like more of a lady. She doesn't look like the tomboy or Tom Sawyer male version. But they go to the Amazon rainforest to find. Well, they find Angelina Jolie first, and the guy watching her because she has a lot of anger in her. She's got like the Eternals had to fight her because she tried to kill them a long time ago, and basically Cyrus and Icarus, they get married. Because he's like in love with her. They get married. They eventually, somebody tells them, Ajax tells them, I want you to have your own lives. We'll enjoy having your own lives. And maybe one day we'll see each other again. Yeah. And then they go visit Troy together and control people. I thought it was funny when he got you know, control the mind of the cameraman. I mean, throw the camera and break it, but he's got the cameras. Eventually the DBs come to attack. Uh, the fat guy that's watching her, that's keeping an eye on her, he like dies. I forget how. I didn't really give a crap, but they fight them. They have to fight the deviants in the Amazon, in the jungle. They fight them. Again, the movie goes back and forth quite a bit. And the pacing, oh my god, the pacing is horrendous in this movie. Like I said, if you watch the movie on Disney Plus or watch the movie, you're going to feel those 2 hours very slowly and painfully. Like I said, Avengers Endgame, it takes time for the story to get going. And this is what they're trying to do. They're desperately, with this movie, you can just tell the director and the people that made this movie, they were trying to be Avengers. And they do mention the Avengers, like some of the hyper characters. She mentions the whole thing about Thanos and their blip. They really mention the Avengers, and the film's gonna be big spoiler when I get to the ending of the film. Talk about those credit scenes. Yeah. So he reveals that Ajax wanted to stop the emergency and save humanity. So that led her to the deviants and allowed them to kill her. So you find out that Icarus, for some stupid reason which doesn't make sense, like I give a crap, doesn't agree with Ajax trying to take down the enemy, take down the emergency. This is just all confusing to me. I was hardly paying attention, folks. I was like this during the whole movie. I was just bored out of my mind watching this film. I didn't care what was going on screen. So you find out that Ajax, somebody comes character, she does something she doesn't agree with. Icarus does not agree with it. The Superman kind of guy, they do get the big black guy, I forget his name, but Kingo, I think his name is. Well, yeah, you see him and his husband, they kiss him. Great, Marvel. Now you're having a gauge in it. Yes, they do focus on that, like with Thor: Love and Thunder, Croak's character. I forget the guy that's a giant rock. Y'all get to that later. But yeah, I want to see guys kissing. That's why I want to see my superhero movies. But if you want to be like that in real life, that's fine. I have nothing. I'm not homophobic, people. If you want to be gay in real life, good for you. Happy for you. Good for you. But keep it out of my movies and TV shows. I don't want it. I don't need your agendas thrown in my face. Keep it in real life. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm a man. I like women. I prefer a man to be married to a woman. To me, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way life is. Men and women get married, have babies. That's the way life goes. Mm. It has for millions, billions of years. Yeah, and I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to get into no debate over this, so I don't want to hear this crap. Yeah. So anyway, you find out that when Nicholas visits her, they talk about Thanos. He disagrees with her decision. They go to like this place where it's like snowy, a mountain. He pushes Ajax off the building. She gets killed. They take one of her abilities. So the device, which are like them, A's can take their abilities. Since they're like immortal, fuck, they were immortal. Well, Highlander, it was where they get their head cut off. But here, it's they suck the life out of them with their tentacles, and Ajax dies. I'm like, these immortals, the Eternals, they're basically just immortal, and you found out they can die too. Highlander made more sense though. All they had to do was just get their head cut off. They lost the fight, and the quickening happening. The quickening would happen. Kind of like making them more stronger. But in here, it makes no sense. So he puts her body where they found her, you know, earlier in the film. You find out all this crap in like an hour or so in the film, or by the second or third act. So Sprite joins them because she loves them. They go to this volcano in the Indian Ocean. Sprite gets knocked out. She like runs her mouth and restrains Icarus. Icarus gets restrained. He's very strong. Pharaoh gets killed by Athena. I don't really care. Icarus is about ready to go kill Cyrus, his ex-wife. Because again, like this, they were lovers back in the day. And his motives to me were weak, or I just simply just didn't give a crap. You know, I don't. But he doesn't kill her. Sirius gains enough power to turn Time Knight into stone. Icarus flees into the sun. I guess either killing himself. I don't know. She turns Sprite into a human, ending her permanent childlike state. Blah blah blah. Athena and Drug Mercury, they, go to the Eternals. They leave. I did find it funny that when uh, when their son, this little boy was trying to get like a fruit grape or something, grapefruit or whatever, an orange, and Lena Angela Joni, she uses her magic sword to grab it for him. I thought that was funny. And basically, the professor boyfriend of Siri tries to tell about his past, but they get lifted up by Ersum, displeased with their treason. So he says he will spare humanity if the Eternal's memories show that humans are worthy of living. He vows to return for judgment and takes Trio into a synergy. So then the movie ends there with Thino, Droid, Macri, the Death Girl. They go off, and the movie ends there. I really just don't care to talk about the whole movie, folks. I'm sorry. Yeah, I hardly was paying attention in this film. Yeah, they go to Babylon. It goes different places. Well, Fato's his character. He can like make weapons and stuff. But I did not care for this cast at all. The only one I liked was Angelina Jolie. This should just been her movie. Yeah, but they stopped the versions. They stopped Icarus and Sprite. You know, and honestly, I just didn't give a crap what was going on screen because I was so bored. I was just ready for this movie. I was thinking to myself in my head like I was just aggravated in my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, is this movie over yet? This is so boring. I did not care about what was going on. But anyway, with my MCU, with Marvel, you're going to get post credit scenes. You have Thena and Market, they get Joy. They meet the Eternal Eros and his assistant, Pipe the Troll. Who, by the way, spoiler alert, is like the brother of Thanos, I guess. Like, I give a crap. Yeah, I guess they're part of What If, which I still haven't seen with Marvel, but he's like the brother. He's offering to help them with a new mission. Then you have an unseen person talking, questions whether White Man is ready to wield the Infinity Blade, which I didn't. I guess something big with this character from the comics. I didn't care for these two post-credit scenes. So anyway, that's the Eternals. I did talk about Best Buy Could, folks, but honestly, folks, I didn't care about watching this movie. So let me get more to why I didn't like it. Why it was so boring. Give me a minute. Give you my final thoughts on this film. Then I'm done with this review. Yeah, pretty much I hated the Eternals. This film was so boring. I hated, as the words of the late the great film critic Roger Ebert. I hated this movie. This was boring. The story sucked. Didn't make no sense. Feels like it's trying to rip off Highlander a bit. Highlander's a better movie. A lot of the MCU movies before it are better. No, I think Black Widow still sucks. Shang-Chi and the Rings still sucks. So Marvel, you so far haven't impressed me. After Avengers Endgame and even Spider-Man Far From Home, which I have fun with despite some problems in the movie, those movies were better story-wise. They're better movies. They are better films. After Avengers Endgame, it's like Marvel just did not know what to do. So if you've seen Avengers Endgame, I would say after you watch Avengers Endgame, if you're doing an MCU franchise, if you're gonna binge watch the MCU movies, like watch all the movies, I would say skip Black Widow, but and Shang-Chi, Legends of the Ten Rings, and the Turtles, because they all three of them suck. Why? Because I think this film sucks because it has a boring story. Black Widow should not have been a family themed movie. I hated Yelena. The movie was boring and the story sucked. Same thing with Shang-Chi, Legends of the Ten Rings. It was boring, lame, way too long. I didn't care about the father son. They were ripping off Family's Hulk from that. This movie was trying to just be another Avengers movie. They were desperately trying to make this a big ensemble movie, trying to make it over 2 hours. It was over 2 hours, 39 minutes long. When it was on Disney Plus, including the end credits. But this film is way too long, and it was boring. The pacing is horrendous. I didn't care about much of the characters. I didn't care about the history. You should have introduced these characters in a better way. You should have just made it more comedy. Yes, I'd rather have a little more comedy. Now, I'm not saying it's straight up comedy like 5 seconds, like Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor: Love and Blunder, whatever you want to call that movie. But at least that movie did some dark moments in it, like with Christian Bale. He needed more screen time, and I thought Natalie Portman was badass as the female Thor. But that movie sucked too. But this film so far, to me, I would say is the worst MCU ever. If I had to pick the worst one, this would be for me personally, in my opinion. This would be the worst film of the MCU, in my opinion. If I had to rank these films from worst to best, this would be number one. Because I hated this film. It was boring. Uh, Chloe Zhao, you suck as a director. Don't ever direct a superhero movie again because you suck. You know you don't need four. You have four writers, four people that wrote this movie, and the story made no sense. The story's not interesting. It goes back and forth on the history of the Eternals, and you have to get something to start out with. It's promising when it starts out, but the movie just drags. It's very slowly paced. Don't let your kids watch this movie because they'll probably fall asleep. Just let them watch the Avengers movies. These are better. The story sucked. I'll admit though, I did like the cinematography. The cat for one, the cast sucks. Angelina Jolie is the only cast member I like. The rest of the cast members I did not give a crap about. I didn't give a crap about the Tom Sawyer girl, Tomboy girl, Sprite. I laughed. What's her last name? Sprite Zero. Yeah, I'm just making a joke there. Angelina Jolie was the best. Some of Hymack, she was terrible. But thankfully, she's not in this movie a whole lot. Thank goodness, because if she was the lead in here, she pretty yeah lead of the turn. Her acting sucks. She's a beautiful woman, but her acting has never been good. She's a nice woman to look at though. Just watch From Dusk Till Dawn. But that's a better movie because that film doesn't feel too long. That's the thing about this film. The story is not interesting to me. The story falls flat in its face, makes no sense, and I just did not care what was going on. If I don't care about your lead characters, which I didn't, and I don't care about, with superhero movies, it's about story. Some of the action scenes are a little decent. Deviants, they look okay in the CGI. I thought they looked fine, and the cinematography by Ben Davis, cinematography is nice. It's a good. The visual effects are nice too. Some of the CGI I thought was pretty good in here. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mind the CGI. The visual effects were good. Cinematography, it's a beautiful looking movie. It looks like a very beautiful film. Some nice beautiful visual effects and stuff. Visual effects are top notch, but that doesn't make the movie any good. The cast sucks. They're very forgettable. I don't remember any of them. Yeah, and then you have to have one character who's gay and kiss him. I don't need woke agendas in here. Stop that. The MCU never needed that. How dare you go into that line of agendas? You didn't need to. The editing was good too. I didn't think the editing was bad. The action is decent, but not memorable. I didn't care for the music score. I don't remember nothing about it. It's forgettable. And the film is just way too long. Like I said, the pacing is the big issue. It's when you watch on Disney Plus, it is 2 hours 39 minutes. You will feel those. I'm like, you didn't make this. You need to make this film in 2 hours 30 minutes. This is not Avengers Endgame. Stop it. Stop trying to be Avengers. Stop. At least I'll give Black Widow and Shang-Chi that. They're not trying to be an Avengers film. They're trying to do their own thing. They didn't work, but at least they tried. But they failed. This movie, yeah, okay, $236 million to make. No, sorry, $236.2 million to make the movie for the budget, and then the film made $402.1 million. So it wasn't even that big hit. It made money, but I would say moderate. It was not a huge hit. It's probably yeah. And from what I've heard, they're not going to make a sequel, probably because this film sucked. One character I really see Athena, Angelina Jolie. She was the most interesting character in this movie, and I'll praise her too. Thought she was good, but she really has nothing to do. Even she looked bored in this film, and like she'd rather be going to get drunk or something than be in this film. The cast is nothing special. Yeah, they do reference Avengers Endgame a lot, so I tell the director is trying to be. They're definitely trying to be another Avengers movie, and he failed at that. Where they have four Avengers movies, and those movies made billions of dollars at the box office. Especially, I think Avengers Endgame made $2 billion at the box office. So you're just trying to get the success of those movies, especially Avengers Endgame, and you failed completely with this movie. Yeah, because there's no plans to make a sequel because people probably didn't give a shit about this movie. And the rest says it was because of COVID and what happened. No, bitch. Excuse my language, I shouldn't call her that. I shouldn't call her that's a bad thing to say. No, no, Miss Zhao. It wasn't because of COVID and all that crap you're saying. It was because the movie sucked and you made it way too long. And you're trying to capitalize on the Avengers. That's why you failed. You're trying to be another Marvel movie. You're trying to be Avengers, and that's why you failed miserably. And probably why the reason you'll never direct another superhero movie. If they look for other people to direct superhero films, comic book movies, I would skip her name. Like, no, uh, no, don't ever direct a movie, please. These writers don't ever work on a movie again because you did horrible, awful jobs. These writers, I'm not a writer for films, but to my opinion, they had no experience whatsoever on writing a good movie. You want to hire somebody that has experience. Just because one of them wrote Ant-Man and the Wasp, did some rewrites for that movie. And that movie was still good. I enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp is fun. Ant-Man and the Quantumania, Guardians 3, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, they're better than this movie. Because I can still get entertainment out of this movie. Yeah, those runtimes I can complain about those films, but at least I can be entertained. And yeah, even that movie had better villains. And Scarlet Witch was a better villain. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I do remember think that movie had a better villain. And even, like I said, Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, Multiverse Madness was a better villainous, a lot more memorable. That film felt like a horror movie. Guardians 3, despite the villain yelling and screaming at me and obnoxious, at least he was memorable and he was a cruel son of a bitch. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I like the villain in that movie. Jonathan Majors, screw him in real life, but you know his character was more of a threat. You know, yeah. But this movie sucked. Eternals, in my opinion. So my rating for the 26th film in the MCU. I like Angelina Jolie. She's trying. I like some of the visual effects, some of the CGI I didn't mind, and the film is beautiful to look at. That's all I can say about it. So my rating for the Eternals, in my opinion, the worst MCU film ever. My rating for this film is 1 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down, way down. I hated this movie. Thumbs down for Eternals. It's probably what I like about this. Is an awful movie. It's forgettable. Skip this movie if you haven't seen it. Good for you. But if you're gonna watch an MCU franchise binge, you're just gonna get pretty bored. Prepare to be in for a long, slow pacing ride, a slow burn of a movie. I can handle some slow burn movies, but the only movie I can think of right now is like Alien from 1979. That's a slow burn of a movie, but the story is interesting. You can do slow burn movies, but you have to give me good characters and give me a story that I can follow and that interests me, that pique my interest, that I can follow. And if I don't care about your characters and your story's lame, then you lost me. Within 20 minutes or an hour in, you probably almost lost me. Because I fell asleep through this movie a couple of times because that's how bored I was out of my mind. Just waiting for this film to be over, and I'm glad I'll never see this movie again. So skip Eternals. Thank goodness I'm not. So I'm gonna give my rating for the film is 1 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down. All right, guys, tell me in the comments down below. What do you think of Eternals in your opinion? If you like it, some people probably do. Some people think it's underrated. And to each his own. If you like Eternals, more power to you. I don't understand why. I I don't get it. To each his own. Anyway, guys. So for the next movie, this is the 27th MCU movie. Yeah, it's about 228 minutes long, 148 minutes, but you know what? I don't think that was too bad. I know there's a director's cut of this movie, which I've never seen, but I saw this film in theaters. I'm glad I did. And that is the 27th MCU film. That is a sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, taking place events after that movie, starring Tom Holland and Benedict Cumberbatch coming back as Doctor Strange, William Dafoe, and yes, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire come back in this movie, and as Mr. Man John Favreau. Really big cast in this movie. And that is Spider-Man No Way Home. So Spider-Man No Way Home will be my last 2021 review. Not for 2020. No, no, won't be the last one for now. But this will be the last movie for 2021. This came out in December. The terms was November, so this came out in December. So I look forward to watching this. Oh, I love that suit. That suit's really cool. But Spider-Man No Way Home, I might review today, folks. It just depends. It's a maybe. It could be on Friday, and also when I start my 22 when I get into the year 2022, it's going to be Catwoman Hunted, but I have to buy that movie on Amazon. Probably next weekend. I'm waiting for my next paycheck, so hopefully I'll be able to buy it on Amazon and get it quickly as soon as possible. Yeah. But Spider-Man No Way Home, I got this on Blu-ray and the DVD. So yeah. Oh, I don't need to show that anyway. No, just show this Spider-Man No Way Home. This will be the next review. So stay tuned for my last review for the year 2021. This will be the last one. The Spider-Man No Way Home will be next. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think of Eternals down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? How would you rank the MCU movies? What would you say are some of the worst MCU movies you've seen? Yeah, I would say so far Iron Man 3, Eternals, uh, Shang-Chi, Legends, Ten Rings, and Black Widow. That's so far the only ones I can think of. But anyway, just tell me in the comments down below what you think of them in your opinion. Thanks for watching, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Excuse me, thanks for watching. Bye bye. Bye.